In this video, I want to take a look at a game which I probably should have lost. I was down 2 pawns pretty much out of the opening and somehow managed to save the game. So the opening was a Chicoran defense. So we have the Tartakower Gambit, and here my opponent played this move, which is not considered to be very good. Black is supposed to be slightly better after this move. And just before I continue, don't pay too much attention to the evaluation of the engine because it's only at depth 16. And well, I analyzed this game with Stockfish at a much greater depth, in some cases to depth 40, and well, the evaluation is quite different. So the main line here is c takes d5, knight takes, e3, knight back, and after e4, well, that's a move, this is a move, knight e7 is a move, and after this I play d4, which is the only move, and my opponent played this move, which I'd never seen before. The main line is actually knight d5. So after knight e4, I was pretty much on my own. So I decided to take the pawn, and my opponent played this move, a knight f3, and I just took it. Stockfish came up with this move, knight f6, which is remarkable because how it works tactically. This would be difficult enough to see in a long-time control. I mean, everything is hanging. This knight is hanging. This knight's being attacked. This pawn can be taken by the knight or the queen. So let's say takes, queen check, c6. I mean, I don't even know what's going on in this position. So after knight check, takes, bishop b4 check. I think this is the best move, and after bishop d2, I blundered. I should have taken the bishop or played a5. Instead, I blundered a piece with queen e7, which after queen takes, bishop d7, you just win a piece with queen takes. Fortunately for me, my opponent did not see that move and played this instead, which allows me to stay in the game. Objectively speaking, taking with a knight is better, but because there are so few pieces left, I wasn't in any danger of getting checkmated, so I just took with the king. And after this, well, I just blundered. I should have played bishop c6, but I played bishop d7, and I'm just losing a pawn after this move. And well, I blundered again, and well, I had to play bishop c6 now, but now I'm down 2 pawns, and I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to save this game. Now here I'm trying to figure out how to keep as many pieces on the board without giving too many concessions. Sometimes when people try to keep pieces on the board, they make bad moves. So I'm trying to avoid that. And well, we just keep shuffling the pieces. And here we trade the rooks, which I don't really mind because at this point we were both running low on time. And here I was surprised that my opponent did not push the pawn. I mean, taking, and now you have 3 isolated double pawns. I should have taken with a knight, but took with the pawn instead, which luckily for me my opponent blundered. After king e3, I'm getting one of the pawns back. Now, I'm not super happy about getting this pawn because it was one of the isolated pawns. I would much rather have one of these pawns, probably this one on c4. And here my opponent allowed me to trade my knight for his bishop, which I was happy to do because usually when you have pawns on both sides of the board, the bishop is better than the knight, which I have, and knights have a very difficult time defending against h and a pawns. So I was already liking my position. And here my opponent surprised me by playing this move, which he did very quickly, almost instantly. If you know about endgames, you know that when you trade into a king and pawn endgame, either the position is a draw or one side is winning. It's not like when you have the bishop and the knight still on the board, where the position might be equal or one side is slightly better or much better. So here I thought that I had at least a draw, but I thought that maybe I could even win by getting my opponent into 6-1. And if the king well moves, then I'm just gonna take this pawn and push this guy. But here I blundered with h4. I should have played this move instead, f3, which is a draw. After f3, king e3, takes, and this is a draw. I know it says winning, but it's not. And well, now I played f3, but it's too late. This should be winning for white. And here I blundered, and now it should be winning again for white. King c4 is a way to draw the game. There are other ways, but after this I should be losing again. And here, well, this is already a draw, I think. And here my opponent didn't realize that pushing the pawn was stalemate. But even if you try to bring the king, to capture this pawn, black can take this pawn and it's a draw. So yeah, I played really badly at the beginning, and then I had to just shuffle my pieces for a very long time and then trade into a drawn endgame, which I was happy to do because my opponent, I think his weakness is endgames. So, I mean, one pawn, that's doable, but two, it almost never happens. So, I hope that you liked the video. If you did, hit the like button and share and subscribe. And thank you for watching.